Hello, everyone. Hey, it's finally here. WrestleMania 40, 72 hours away. And also, happy April. Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Eric Dunn here, home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Hope everyone had a phenomenal Easter, had a nice holiday weekend. Well, guys, we made it. No more teasers, no more build up. It's time for WrestleMania week. And throughout the time we have together, I'm going to give you the whole card, along with my predictions, potential surprises surrounding John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and even Brock. A and what might be a giveaway with Seth and Drew for the World Heavyweight Championship, and the Slammies. That's right. I said this to you on last week's broadcast. The Slammy Awards is coming back to WWE, and the categories are ready to go. And I'll give this all to you throughout our time together. With that being said, this broadcast of Falls Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Eric Dunn Productions and Rhode Island Broadcasting for the private use of our audience. In any publication, reuses, or redistributions by anyone, it is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared everywhere and is greatly appreciated. You will find me every Wednesday night right here at 5 on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Twitch. Share is the biggest thing here. Follow us on our Facebook and our Instagram accounts as well as our YouTube accounts. And you'll be able to find us afterwards on Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, and Podbean Podcasts. Also, find us at Buy Me a Coffee at Rhode Island Broadcasting, as it just popped up on the screen here to my left. And you'll be able to help support this company and support all of us. And it's amazing regarding something, and that'll be said towards the end. So let's get right into it, guys. So let's not waste any more time. The WrestleMania 40 card has been confirmed. So we're going to go in order from bottom to top. All right? From bottom to top here. So Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. A Philly street fight. Well, I'm going to say Lashley and Street Profits in this one. That's my hope. Next up, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, 6-woman tag team match. Belair, Cargill, and Naomi are going to do some damage. I think that they're going to be a dynamite team at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santo Escobar and Dirty Dom. Dominic Mysterio. Rey and Dragon. That's my hope. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. And a lot of people are saying that this was a dream match. A lot of people never thought that we'd get this match. But this rivalry with AJ and LA, this goes back to, I believe, October, when Cena at Backlash was expected to have AJ be his partner against Solo and Jimmy. But when AJ got hurt, LA stepped in and stepped up. AJ didn't like that, wasn't too kind of that, so the angle became him to beat the crap out of LA when he had the chance. So I think in this one, I think it's going to go to LA, unless AJ comes up with something phenomenal here, pun intended. Now, the 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. Here's where this is going to get very interesting. And I say this with all seriousness here. Both the Raw and the SmackDown titles are going to be on the line here. But here's the irony. The match is not over until both sets of titles are retrieved from the hook. So if either the Raw or SmackDown titles get brought down, the others have to come down in order for the match to end. My prediction in this one, New Day and Austin Truth, Miz and R-Truth. I would love for them to be tag team champions again. But however, there is a rumor right now that Grayson Waller, Austin Theory are going to get booted out of this match. If that rumor ends up to be true, there's also a rumor that the Hardys are going to return to WWE and they're going to be selected and be inserted into that match. Definitely got to keep that in mind. And of course, I'll break that down for next week. Now, moving on up. Jay and Jimmy, for the third time in WrestleMania history, brother versus brother. It's going to be Jay. I would love Jay to not only get a win at WrestleMania, but for Jay, I mean, you basically made it. You main evented it last year, and now you're facing off against your brother, your own blood. Like that to me is what a man. Like what a good. I would have say 7 months, something like that. Yeah, like what a 7 months it's been for Jay. Just really dominant, very dominant, very, very, very just amazing to watch and witness with all the dominance he has. The Intercontinental title, Gunter and Sami Zayn. There's a part of me that really wants Sami to win. But a lot of people are pissed off, though, that Chad Gable didn't become the #1 contender. If Gunter retains, that might set off a whole nother ball game here of some problems. So, Sammy, I hope to win, but Gunter, I'm not gonna be surprised though if he does win because he's on a very long reign. He's the longest reigning IC champion in the history of the company. So we'll see what direction that one's gonna go. United States triple threat: Logan Paul, Apex Predator, Legend Killer Randy Orton, the prize fighter Kevin Owens. If I had to put my money on it, KO is going to be United States champion. I don't think it makes sense for Randy to win because he's already won it. I don't know. I mean, Randy did say he wants one more title run, but I think he might have been alluding to the World Heavyweight title or the WWE Championship. I'm not too positive on that, but I'm picking Randy or KO to knock off Paul and get him out of here. Not out of the company because I don't think he's going to leave, but just get him off as champion. Women's World Heavyweight title, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. Here's where things are going to get interesting. Sources have confirmed Becky Lynch has not signed an extension with WWE. Her contract's up in 2 months. If she wins, they're going to extend her. If she loses, she might be out the door. I want Becky to win in this because it might give Liv Morgan an opportunity to face her the night after WrestleMania. I'm not too sure. But I picked Becky to win, but if Rhea wins, then maybe Liv will get a rematch. This one to me is a no-brainer. For the undisputed WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky and Bayley. Bayley all the way. 100% Bayley should get this victory. Okay? Now we get to, in my eyes, are the 3 main events for WrestleMania. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Here's the teaser I'm going to show on that, and I'm going to take my eyes off of the card for 1 second because I'm going to give you guys this little update about Seth and Drew. Clash at the Castle has been confirmed that it's going to come back to WWE this June, on Saturday, June 15th. It will be Clash of the Castle, the first ever premium live event to be held in Glasgow, Scotland. I'll say that one more time. In Glasgow, Scotland. Does anyone else out there agree with me that it would be a scrutiny if Drew doesn't beat Seth to become World Heavyweight Champion and they give him this run that goes till at least June for him to defend it in his home country in Scotland. I mean, does that teaser for Clash of the Castle give off an aura of, well, that's it. Seth's gonna drop it. Like, is there any more explanation to this? I don't think there is. I really don't think there's any other reason why Drew wouldn't win the World Heavyweight Championship now. And this is the Seth and Drew moment I'm going to tell you about it right now. Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland, the home country of Drew McIntyre. Let's paint the picture that Drew doesn't beat Seth at WrestleMania on Sunday. The match is on night 2. If Drew doesn't win, what happens? But you know what? I'm going to put my money on the fact that Drew is going to win. Because Glasgow, Scotland, his hometown, his home country, he's going to bring it back to his family. I mean, that's obvious. Like, that's what I think is definitely going to happen here. But hey, only time will tell. But then we get to what is the main event on night 1. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth and Cody. There has been intel going around for about a month that Seth's going to turn on Cody at WrestleMania. Here's the problem I have with that. If Seth's going to get turned heel and he's gone for a year and a half due to double fusion back surgery, similar to what Randy had, Seth's had a bad back for 5 years. If you turn him heel and take him off the entire card and just take him off camera, then that turn was stupid. It's going to be completely asinine if Seth turns heel at WrestleMania. I can't see Seth turning heel unless there is a legitimate maybe shortcoming. I don't know. Unless there's something that is a legitimate reason that happens in this tag match that makes Seth turn on Cody, Seth's not going to turn heel. But however, there's something going around that Rock is going to help Cody win. And Rock will turn face to help Cody finish the story. The most hated human being right now in this company is Roman Reigns. That's obvious. But if I had to pick my top 3, it goes Roman, Rock, Drew McIntyre. Those are the 3 most hated human beings in WWE today. Rock turns face, or Rock doesn't turn face. He remains a heel. He doesn't go anywhere, but Cody does win somehow. Here's my concern. If Cody does not win the WWE Championship on Sunday, what the hell was the point of him winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles? A lot of us agreed he should have won that at last year's WrestleMania in Hollywood. The Rock and Roman match should have happened at last year's WrestleMania. But now you've got this angle with Rock and Roman side by side. Only time will tell. I have no idea what's going to happen until it goes live. And that now brings me to the main event. Roman and Cody for the undisputed WWE Championship. Here's where there's a lot of significance here. There we go. The tag match between Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth on Saturday night at WrestleMania for night 1 has a stipulation. Rock and Roman wins, it's bloodline rules. Cody and Seth wins, the bloodline's barred and banned. For those of you that watched the end of Raw from this Monday night, it was Seth and Solo in the main event, one-on-one, Bloodline rules. The carnage that you saw at the end of Raw when it went off the air could be what might be awaiting Cody if they lose on Saturday for his match with Roman on Sunday. I honestly don't know. I can't pinpoint right now and say, well, this could happen, this could happen. No. Here's the thing a lot of us know, too, about Triple H. With him being the CCO of WWE, alongside Nick Khan, running all the writers and the creative staff and all the producers, the three main people that have been producing the Bloodline segments, Michael Hayes, Jason Jordan, Bobby Roode. And they've been banging this out so well. They've been doing so well with this. Here's my problem. How do you end it? Could it end at WrestleMania, or is it going to drag even longer? We're going to find out. Basically, guys, that is the card for WrestleMania. Now, surprises. Potential surprises. And this is actually in reference to Cody's match with Roman for the WWE title. I'm going to start off with Cena and Austin. I was bringing this up last week. Here's what I have an update for you about that on. Booking Cena and Stone Cold in the Rock, Reigns, and Rhodes story for WrestleMania. Listen to this. WrestleMania's Night 2 has Cody and Roman for the undisputed WWE Championship, and it has all the makings of an instant classic. Rock's and Reigns' original counter in last year's main event was outstandingly up until the absurdly executed finish. In the years since, WWE has had the chance to build up the match as a highly anticipated attraction and has done exceptionally well. But however, the recent involvement of World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and The Rock, the final boss, has not only added excitement, but has completely changed the course on the road to WrestleMania. Before Reigns and Rhodes collide one-on-one, they'll face off in a tag team match on night one, teaming with Rock and Rollins, respectively. Determining what the outcome will be, interference will either be encouraged or eliminated entirely for the next night. Fans have been buzzing about the possibility of Stone Cold Steve Austin and the greatest of all time, John Cena, making their presence felt in some form or fashion over WrestleMania weekend. If they do appear, it will make complete sense for them to have a role in the culmination of this chapter of the Bloodline story. Listen to what this is, okay? So the Bloodline winning on night one through night two, because again, it'll be Bloodline rules, so anything goes. Ideally, Reigns and Rhodes would have a straightforward singles match in which the latter wins clean to finish the story, become champ, and prove his opponent can't win when it matters most without interference from the Bloodline. But however, that isn't the story that's been told up to this point in the program. Of course, Solo cost Rhodes the title at last year's WrestleMania, but of course, banning him from ringside would alleviate that problem. But leading into that uncertainty, Solo and everyone else at ringside will only make the match more magical. That's why Rock and Reigns must emerge victorious on night one. Doing so, Bloodline rules for night two will allow interference from the group as well as Cody's potential allies. Going down that route of overbooked nonsense could backfire, but it could be a must-see spectacle if done properly. This is how Austin and Cena could factor into the equation for night two, because it's highly unlikely they would show up during the main event otherwise. Also, Cena has unfinished business with the Bloodline. Cena is no stranger. He posed as the biggest threat to Reigns' dominant title run at SummerSlam 3 years ago when he unsuccessfully challenged for the gold. That was his first run-in with the faction, and it wouldn't rekindle until 2 years later when he returned to WWE last fall. The tag team win. LA Knight and him over Jimmy Uso and Solo at Fastlane. Cena went on to lose to the latter in decisive fashion at Crown Jewel. Paul Heyman subsequently boasted about the group's enforcer, ending the veteran's career as he hasn't been seen since. But the 16-time world champion resurfacing was never in the question. When he does, it would be illogical for him to do anything but target the bloodline, specifically Solo. It's unnecessary for them to run it back one-on-one in Philly, but Cena can prevent Solo from getting involved in the Mania main event for the second straight year. Cena showed respect to Rhodes 2 years ago and would presumably have his back in a heartbeat. Number 3, Steve Austin could be the great equalizer for babyfaces in peril. Although he doesn't have the same established issues with the bloodline, Stone Cold has a little bit of history with one of the members. 25 years ago, Austin and Rock collided in their first of 3 WrestleMania main events. Amazingly, that installment emanated from Philly, as will this weekend's 2-night event. Rock's been an unstoppable force since returning to WWE at the onset of 24. For the past 2 weeks, he's unleashed a vicious beating on Rhodes, which could deliberately use some backup from the caliber of the Texas Rattlesnake. Austin stepping back into the ring at WrestleMania 38 opened the door for what he could do going forward, such as a quick cameo, a possible star to Rock for all time's sake, isn't all that unrealistic. Rhodes has Rollins, Jay, and possibly Cena in his corner, while Austin could be the true equalizer, not to mention the raucous reaction he received for the glass breaking at the beginning of his entrance music, hitting at the end of the match, when an outnumbered challenger appears to be on the verge of losing. But, however, Rhodes beating Reigns must be carefully executed. Appearances from Cena and Austin on night 2 would certainly be satisfying for the average fan, but they need to be careful executing Rhodes' crowning moment if it's going to leave a lasting impression, in which it should. Above all else, anyone who gets involved should not be directly responsible for the finish. That includes Rock, who clearly has a Mania match on the horizon with Reigns. Repeating a similar scenario to the conclusion of WrestleMania 27, when Rhodes cost Cena, or Reigns in the case, the title will be lazy booking. Unlike last year, Rhodes and Reigns on Sunday must have a definite winner. Cena and or Austin attacking Rhodes and leading immediately into Rhodes pinning him, attacking Reigns and leading into Rhodes pinning him, would end his title win, as the audience would be more excited about the Icons getting physical than the American Nightmare ending a championship run of almost 4 years. The Bloodline can dominate a majority of the match before the babyface cavalry evens the playing field, resulting in a hot final stretch where Rhodes cements his superiority over Reigns once and for all. Here's also where that also could tie in. Both beatings with Rock and Cody, it had Cena in Austin's face on one of the trailers in the background camera shot, and then this guy, Lesnar. Here's the final update of potential surprises. Listen to this. Will Brock appear this Sunday? Lesnar's been away from WWE since SummerSlam, but eagle-eyed fans noticed his poster on one of the trucks ahead of the show of shows. WWE seemingly hinted a little bit about the Beast Incarnate's return during Rock and Cody's segment on the latest edition of Raw from the Monday night prior. Lesnar's been away from WWE amid the ongoing multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant against Vince. The Beast Incarnate was rumored to appear at the Royal Rumble, but it wasn't the case. Fans of the legendary wrestler have every reason to be excited after WWE teased Lesnar's return during a specific segment on Raw days ahead of WrestleMania. Rhodes was brutally assaulted by Rock last week, leaving the American Nightmare battered, bruised, and bloody. While the attack took many fans by surprise given the severity of the assault, eagle-eyed fans noticed a potential Easter egg as Lesnar's poster was seen on one of the trucks parked in the lot. The image wasn't too clear, but fans could somehow catch a glimpse of it after similar images of Cena and Austin's posters went viral on social media. Fans believe that WWE could be planning for a stunning comeback for Lesnar ahead of WrestleMania. On top of that, WWE distanced itself from the former UFC champion, excluded from the cover of the 2K24 special 40 years of WrestleMania edition game. The wrestler is also available to be played only in showcase mode, which is a big downgrade. After being absent from WWE, there are some activities happening behind the scenes regarding the 46-year-old. Brian Alvarez, reporter for Wrestling Observer Live, reported that WWE is looking to explore potential opportunities to have the legend back on screen. In the last few days, there's been moves regarding Lesnar, rumors to bring him back. However, he also cautioned WWE for potential backlash from fans, giving Lesnar's links to the sexual misconduct suit filed against Vince. I'm not saying he's going to be back. I wouldn't bring him back, but I can tell you there has been many inquiries made, but it just seems like a bad idea to me, Alvarez added. I'll just leave it at that. But with WrestleMania 40 now, 3 days away, it seems to be whether WWE can find a way to have the Beast Incarnate back in the business. Could Lesnar be part of the Cena and Austin brigade to get rid of the bloodline? Can you imagine Lesnar, Austin, Cena, Rock, Rhodes, and Reigns all in the same ring at the same time? Because, guys, let's not forget something either. Lesnar has a very long history with Reigns, the Bloodline, and Paul Heyman. SummerSlam 2 years ago, Lesnar lost the right to challenge for the WWE Championship as long as Reigns held it because of their last man standing match at SummerSlam 2022. Could Lesnar come back to help Cody? The end of SummerSlam last year, 23, Lesnar did something completely out of his wheelhouse and script. He hugged Cody with the world watching in the middle of the ring and endorsed Cody by saying, "I'm passing the torch to you." If Lesnar returns, it'll be the first time in 22 years him and Rock were in the same ring at the same time. You remember SummerSlam 02 when the next big thing took the torch and Rock was booted to Hollywood. Think about it, guys. It could still happen. It could still happen. And who knows? If it happens, fantastic. But that'll all be for next week's broadcast. Now, to wrap this up, I mentioned to you earlier, the Slammy Awards. On Sunday, voting is now officially closed. But here are the categories that can be voted for. Female Superstar of the Year, Rhea, Bianca, Bayley, Io, Becky Lynch. I picked Bianca. Male Superstar of the Year, Cody, Roman, Seth, Gunter, Logan Paul. I picked Seth because of the work he did all year. Best Entrance, Cody, Roman, Bianca, Seth, Rhea, Becky, Rock, Dominic. I think it's going to be Cody or Seth. Return of the Year, Punk, Rock, Nia Jax, Randy, Naomi. It's going to be Punk because no one expected that. Faction of the Year, Judgment Day, Alpha, Imperium, Bloodline, Damage Control. It's going to be Judgment Day there. Rivalry of the Year, Seth and Drew, Dom and Ray, Bianca and Damage Control, Roman and Cody, R-Truth, Judgment Day. It's going to be Roman and Cody. Superstar of the Year for NXT, Elijah, John Goodenough, Carmelo Hayes, Tiffany Stratton, Lara Falkera, and Braun Breaker. I think it's going to be Braun from what he was able to do. Match of the Year, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, Roman and Sammy, Gunter and Chad, Asuka and Bianca, Charlotte and Rhea. I think it's going to be Asuka, Bianca, and Charlotte because that was a great match. OMG Moment of the Year, Ray punches Dom, Punk returns to WWE, Asuka cashes Money in the Bank, Rock slaps Cody, Damage Control turns on Bayley, Cody slaps Rock. It's going to be Rock slaps Cody. No one thought that Rock would turn heel and do what he did. And the last two, Social Star of the Year, Grayson, Logan, Drew, Chelsea, Liv Morgan. I think it's going to be Logan. Breakout Superstar of the Year, Jay, Tiffany, Pretty Deadly, Dragon Lee, LA Knight. That's going to be Jay. So, with all that being said, next week's broadcast of Falls Count Anywhere, the review of WrestleMania 40 and the Raw after WrestleMania, as well as the results of who got the Slammies. I'll break that all down for you and explain it all. Now, before I go, I want to take a chance to say something real quick. This is going to be my first WrestleMania with this program as a part of Rhode Island Broadcasting. Now, I want to tell you guys this real quick. When we started this back in June, there was 3 more that was with me. My dad, Edward Dunn, Mr. X Jr., and Tony Jones. And then week by week, one by one, I kept seeing myself doing it solo, and I was by myself. But knowing the amount of experience I've had doing it by myself and being solo, I was ready to take on the challenge. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you, the fans of this program and Rhode Island Broadcasting, for not only giving me a chance, but to keep on coming back every week. And the fact that with WrestleMania being the biggest in WWE history, this was probably the most important show I've done to date. And I hope that for next week's broadcast, when I recap WrestleMania 40, the Raw after WrestleMania 40, and the Slammies, I can give you just as good as the quality that I gave you tonight as I do every week. And also a big thank you to the man behind the scenes, Ron Rigo, for the opportunities I've been given to do this program and for all of you being along with me on this ride. So on behalf of the man behind the scenes, the career RIB, Rodrigo, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Guys, happy WrestleMania week. Hope everyone enjoys it. I know I will. Maybe we get the things that I talked about. But next week, we're going to find out. Stay strong out there, stay safe, and thank you all so much for watching and listening.